Oh, hi, Ron. Hi, I'm really good. Thank you. How are you?
Great, nice to chat with you. Just to
Thanks for
start,
having me.
oh yeah, absolutely. I'm very excited.
Mhm.
Just to start, this is your first major American film, so I just want to know how exciting is it to be part of a film like this?
Oh, like you imagine, very excited. Yes, my very first huge production, North America for me, and everything is still a blur to me.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure it's only going to get crazier as the film premieres and after that, so that's very exciting. What
Yes.
was it about this film that really interested you in terms of story and your character?
Who interests me at the first time?
Or yeah, just when you heard about the project and the story, what was it that really grabbed you and made you interested in the film?
Roland, of course. Like who doesn't like 2012 and Day After Tomorrow and Independence Day, right? So such
Absolutely.
an opportunity for me to work with him. Like nobody in the business would want to work with Roland, right? So like you imagine that I was really excited, but it only got me like 5 minutes to interview with him uh, over Zoom. So it was pretty weird at the beginning, but then I got the role, so everything all set.
That's great, right? Because
That's
with
crazy.
all this film, in terms of making the film and everything, you had to do it during the pandemic, which I'm sure was very
Yes.
challenging. Could you talk a little bit about how tough it was to make this film during this time?
It was pretty tough actually. And Roland and Harold, they told me that usually when we do a film together, we would have lots of parties and dinner plans and stuff. But all we did was stay in our rooms and talk over phones and Zoom calls, meetings and stuff. So it was pretty tough being
Yeah,
alone, of course,
right.
all
Which
the
is
time.
something I think we're all struggling with during this time.
Right.
You talked about Roland being the big draw for you, and he's just such a legend, has some incredible films.
Yeah.
What was it like working with him? What's his directing style, and how did he help you in your role for this film?
He just works and works nonstop. Can you imagine? Like we would go there and we see him every day. I ask him all the time, "Are you tired?" Even just a little bit, but he's always like so excited and just nonstop. Drinks lots of coffee, maybe. I don't know his secret, but you never see him tired.
That's amazing. I'm sure someone like him has to have high energy. Somebody else who I'd love to hear about your working relationship with Halle Berry. Obviously, is also a legend.
Yes.
What was it like being in a film with her? And is there anything that she that you two worked on that she kind of helped you or anything like that?
Um, she's a real like chill person. She's really nice and sweet. We talk all the time. We talk about her kids. I remembered she always has big smiles on her face. No, that's not true. I'm not gonna tell what we talk about. Nah, not true.
Understandable. You can keep that to yourself.
Right.
um, you know, you have like a good perspective, like almost like a blend of East and West perspective. I know that you moved to Vancouver when you were a teen. What was that transition like coming from China to Canada? Growing up as a teen, how difficult was that, or was it a good experience?
I can't tell anymore because I'm always traveling. I travel a lot. Before before China, there was like Korea, spent 2 years in Korea, and then Taiwan and lots of different places. So I kind of learned to live by myself, like feel like more and more comfortable that way, and it's just different experiences everywhere. Everywhere is different, every
Yeah,
cultural like differences that you have to deal with, but then you learn to accept it and learn to get used to it.
yeah, I'm sure it's really an asset, especially for a career like yours in singing and acting.
Mhm.
Um, Being that this is your first, big American film, like we talked about, what are some kind of differences or similarities when in terms of making films and projects, TV, and all of that in China versus in America? How was that adjustment for you?
Honestly, it's all the same Can you imagine? Like first time when I got this role, I was really nervous because I wouldn't know what to do. Like I wouldn't tell, this is my first time, right? So I wouldn't tell what's the difference between making a movie in China or in America. But then when I got on set, it's pretty much all the same. You just go on there and just act, say your lines, and everything else just sorted out by itself.
That's
Hmm.
interesting. I love to hear about how things like that are similar in between,
Right,
two different
everywhere.
countries.
You wouldn't expect it to be the same, but then it turned out to be the same.
Just shows you how much we all have more in common than than
Right,
differences.
right.
Uh, for this film, was there anyone amongst the cast that you became really close with or developed a really good relationship with?
I've spent a lot of time with Charlie Plummer and the little boy Zane. He's really sweet too. He's pretty fun too.
I
He's
love
only
that.
8 years old. Yeah, it was pretty cool actually. It's his like it's his first movie ever. He did a really good job, by the way. You should check
That's
him
great.
out.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I enjoy his character too. It's kind of a funny coincidence. This movie, like the moon, is a major character in the film,
Mhm.
and of course, like Lunar New Year is right around the corner. What do you think Chinese audiences in particular are really going to enjoy about this film?
The Chinese people, I don't know if they can get out, then they would they would really enjoy this film in the theater because this movie is made for the big screen. You have to see all the CGs through the big screen in the theater. So that's what I'm telling everybody. You have to get out and see the movie in the theater.
And it really is grand in scale. Obviously global and in space. How was that like in terms of filming those scenes with green screen and CGI? Having to be creative. How was that experience for you?
It was bad because everything was a blur and we wouldn't know what's going on and we have to pretend that we know that there's a bird falling there's the moon and all we see is that yellow circle in front of us that we pretend that it's the moon.
I'm sure that's a challenge that so many people have to deal with nowadays with these types of grand films. But I think you did a great job with that. What's next for you in terms of future? What kind of films and stories would you like to work on?
I don't know. I honestly, like, this is my first American movie ever, but then because of this COVID thing, I can't even attend the premiere, right? So I had to stay inside China because I'm shooting another movie here in China. So I can't really get out of this area right now. So I don't know. I don't know my plans for the next a few years actually. I don't know when this thing's gonna get better, but I do hope this COVID thing is gonna go by for quick and fast, and we all don't have to deal with this real disaster anymore.
Agreed. It's been so difficult for all of us, and like you said, the challenges you face. We hope that we can see you in more U.S. films soon. My last question is: you talked about Roland being a big draw for you for this film. Are there any other U.S. directors or actors that you would love to work with? That would be a dream project for you.
My first goal will be Anne Lee, actually. Maybe that feels closer to me too.
Yeah, that would be great. I
Right.
would love to see you work with Aang. Obviously, another legend. Think that would be a great fit. Well, we hope to see that. We hope, like you said, COVID gets done soon so we can all enjoy this movie in theaters. Congratulations and hope to see you
Thank
in the
you.
future.